Welcome to this edition of the Black Belt Newscast. It's a spotlight for the week of September 7th, 8th. And I am here. I'm Cindy Fisher, and I'm publisher of the Black Belt News Network.
I'm Todd Prater, staff writer and reporter for the Black Belt News Network.
And we are so excited to be here. We have so many great stories to talk about this week throughout the Black Belt. And of course, go to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com to see all the stories in real time. But here at the end of the week on Fridays, we like to talk to you about what we have covered throughout the week and give a little insight into it. And that's what this is. And we are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on selmasun.com and on our Facebook for that as well. So here we are and hope to be here every week. So let's get started. Our top story for this week is about the return of Memorial Stadium. You know, it is football season. In full swing. We're in I think this is coming into our third week of high school football. And we've been on the sidelines covering all kinds of football and interviewing coaches ahead of time. And one of the exciting things that I got to do this last Friday night, I was at the Selma Southside game, which is a big deal every year, the Queen City Classic. And I got this video while I was on the sidelines. I also shoot pictures. And so while I was there, I really was noting the improvements at Memorial Stadium. It looks great. And as you know, the city of Selma owns it, and the school district was talking about taking over in order to get these fixes made from damage from several storms, including the January 12th tornado. And instead, the city picked up its pace and they got out there. They fixed, that's a new roof there and new lights on that part of the pavilion. And it was rainy, as you can see with our cheerleader friends. So there were a lot of folks underneath, including both bands. Ended up under there, so they didn't mess up, and they were saying hi. We love the cheerleaders. And this is from the press box. You can see the improvements that were made. It looked pretty good. So we are glad to be back, and they had a really good crowd. And actually, Friday night is the next game there. Selma is playing Demopolis, which is another one of our favorite schools here in the Black Belt. We have so many favorites that will be playing each other at Memorial Stadium. So you can see it for yourself Friday night.
That'll be a great game, I'm sure. Demopolis is doing well, so is the Saints.
Yeah, and they have a new coach. Both teams have new coaches. And actually, Selma's former coach is an assistant coach over at Demopolis, so they'll get to see their old friend. So let's stay in Selma and talk about repairs and tornado relief. With Terry Sewell coming to town on Wednesday to talk about tornado relief in a meeting.
Right, it's a meeting of the Delta Regional Authority coordinates a number of agencies in our area to do these type recovery efforts, and this included the head of the Delta Regional Authority. It included FEMA, SBA, HUD, and that's all the dignitaries you see there with the mayor and with Congresswoman Sewell. Judge Nunn is just behind Sewell. You can't see him; he's being blocked, but. The meeting was an update that they do every month, and Congresswoman Sewell was in town for other reasons, so she came and hosted the meeting so that she could see what's going on and then tell the public. There was a press conference after the meeting to let the public know what the latest is over the last 8 months or so that we've been working. And basically what they determined is we've come a long way. We still have a long way to go, but there's still help available if you still need help. You just have to apply for it. And the other message that they wanted to get out and they hit home over and over again was if you're denied the first time, don't take no for an answer, reapply because many times it's a small error and a typo type kind of a small error that can be corrected that might lead to you being given the loan or the grant or whatever that you get. I mean, look what the candy factory. You know, it took him some time. It took him working for almost 8 months, but he got the loan from the SBA, and now the candy factory.
It has been such a challenge, and we are
perseverance.
Glad to see everybody getting back on their feet after the January 12th tornado. So let's talk Black Belt now. We have a Highway 43 might be under attack to some degree. What's
I
going
guess
on with
attack is one way to put it. Commerce in West Alabama has been hampered by the fact that infrastructure is less than desirable, and the design is to extend Highway 43 and 69. Those mayors that you just saw, about 11, 12 mayors, got together in Thomasville for a meeting to discuss the Highway 43, 69 expansion from Tuscaloosa all the way down to Thomasville, where it's already 4 lanes. And their conclusion was that this would help not only commerce and the economy, but hurricane evacuation and a number of things would improve in West Alabama. The fear is Lieutenant Governor Ainsworth said last month that Alabama's the money spent on that particular project would be better spent on I-65 to relieve the congestion on 65. Mobile Mayor Sandy Stimson came back with the best rebuttal to that I have ever heard, and that was, if you give us a second 4-lane route out of Mobile, since most everything from Mobile Port ends up on a truck, that'll reduce the traffic on 65 because they'll have a second route to take to North Alabama and to Tuscaloosa.
And
it'll help the car industry, the coal industry, everything.
And it's important for our area here in the Black Belt because it's another main thoroughfare, the
Exactly.
4-laner that allows us some economic development and expansion. I mean, it goes through Demopolis. It is huge decision maker for a lot of companies that might come to the Black Belt that need that kind of access to Tuscaloosa and further up the state.
Well, Sheldon Day, mayor of Thomasville, even said, industries don't like to settle more than 20 miles away or 20 minutes away from a major highway. And this 4-lane highway through West Alabama and mostly all in the Black Belt would put most of the area within 20 minutes of a major 4-lane highway, which would automatically make them.
For years, they've already got the land set aside. They've already started on part of it. Yeah. Even Mayor of Tuscaloosa was there saying, "Let's do this," and so we're behind that one. That's for sure because it helps us here in the Black Belt.
Well, one more quick note is Representative Robert Stewart was there, and he said that there's no reason that we couldn't do both, but he is all for doing the West Alabama. So he's going to go back to the state legislature and tell them we need to build this West Alabama.
Awesome. Well, we love that topic. We will stay on that one, and
we will
keep you updated on how that's going.
Anything to make the Black Belt better and more economically viable.
That's our goal too.
Amen.
Hey, let's switch over to talking about something else that's important in the Black Belt, and that's our rivers.
Again, bringing more money.
Ecotourism.
Tourism equals money, and if you can bring more tourism to an area, then you're going to increase the economic base, and fishing tournaments are a way to do that. The Selma Marina improvements are on. We got word from Danielle Wooten, who is the Director of Planning and Development in Selma, and she said, yes, they're going to redo the docks. The docks are being built even as we speak. It'll be 4 months or so before they're actually delivered, but they are being manufactured. They will bring the new docks, and they'll have a new pavilion built. It'll be more fishing tournament friendly. There's the fishing tournament that we had just last month that had 39 boats signed up. And just stop and think about this now. If you have a tournament of 39, now 39 is a low number. Usually these tournaments will bring way more than that. And they also bring family members. They come in a couple of days early to practice. They have to have a hotel. They have to have food. They have to have gasoline. It's just an economic boom. So before long, Selma is going to fit in with Bridgeport, Roland Cooper, and Demopolis. And so West Alabama and the Black Belt is going to become a huge mecca for bass tournaments and fishing tournaments in general.
I can't wait to see that grow because I know my kid loves bass fishing here in Dallas County and Wilcox County. So I know it's huge.
It is huge, and it's fun.
Ringo County. So we love it. So
we do.
Hey, blackbeltnewsnetwork.com is where we have so many stories. We are posting all day, every day. I finished working after the Selma game. I went to bed at 2:30 in the morning. We love you guys. We're doing this for you. And we want to be here for the Black Belt. And we also want to say a big thanks to our sponsors. They make this possible to do this newscast for you guys every week. Thank you, Randall Miller and the funeral service. They have a new funeral area there in Selma, and they do crematory, and they are great, and they're very huge supporters. Thank you so much. If you want to be a sponsor, email news@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com and follow and subscribe to us on social media. This is where you're going to find out what's going on throughout the day. We're posting videos, and we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. That is where you can find us. And so stay tuned. If you have news, share it to news@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. Let us know what you've got going on. Write stories for us too. We are always looking for stories. Sure. We love high school kids. If you guys want moms, I have several moms that do stuff for me out of the schools because you guys are there anyway. So help us be the tentacles that stretch into all of our counties that we're covering the Black Belt. Let's do this together.
And don't forget, too, that if you're on the go, you can download our podcast in the Black Belt and hear some of the headlines, a little bit of detail about each story that later on you can go back to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com and get all the full details.
We are everywhere you are. So tune in to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com, and we will see you guys next week.
See you next week.